you're obviously playing in Ofi Kret. Is that the correct pronunciation, by the way, Ofi Kret, or is there a different pronunciation?
Alfie Crete. Crete.
Oh, Ofi Kret.
Yeah, Alfie Crete. Yeah.
Learn something new every day. So those who don't obviously know about the Greek league, can you just give us a bit of a background of how competitive it is or what it's like?
To make it simple is you just got to see what Olympiacos have done this season. You know what I mean? They beat Arsenal. I think they drew to Wolves in the Europa League.
Yeah.
And do you know what I mean? So that's just it just shows how competitive the Greek league is. And, you know, Arsenal and Wolves in the Premier League are top teams, you know what I mean? So between the big teams and the smaller clubs here, there's not much of a difference, you know what I mean? Everything's competitive. We finished fifth. Not finished, but we finished fifth, like in the first... So in Greece, there's a league set up where it's like Scotland. You play the main season, then it goes into top 5 playoffs and the bottom 7 playoffs.
Yeah.
Them 7 teams only play against each other, and the top 5 teams play against each other. We got into the top 5, so we automatically now, whatever happens from now to the 10 games, will we play Europa League qualifications minimum, which will be the first time in a long time for the club. So the league's good, man. The league's really good, and I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, man.
No, that's good to know. Obviously, like I've been obviously following you for a number of years now. Even from I think back in 2011-12 when there was the FA's first ever Asian inclusion program that was at West Brom at the time. I remember from then. So following your career from then, we spoke to Dr. Zaf yesterday specifically around players. You know, when you speak to the Asian players, the South Asian players you want to be a pro footballer. They all want to go Man United, the Liverpool, the Arsenal. He made such a valid point where he said, follow examples like Adil, like Beckham, like Harry Kane, like Zesh Rahman, who have taken different paths to get to where they want to get to. What would you say on that?
Yeah, the same, really. You know, obviously the main goal is for every young, not just South Asian lad, every lad wants to play in the Premier League, wants to, you know what I mean, play for Man United and all that, but it's not realistic in terms of the amount of numbers, not just in South Asia, just in academies and stuff. Not everybody makes it. There's only like a 5% that actually do go on to play at the highest level. You know what I mean? So it's not be all and all. There's other ways. You can go abroad, like myself, like other players. You can go into the lower leagues. You still can have a career, a way of income. Do you know what I mean? If that's what people want to find out, like, you know, what difference is. You can be a doctor, you can be whatever you like, but, you know what I mean, football is a good way of income. You're probably not going to earn what you read in the newspapers.
Yeah.
150 grand a week and all that. You can still make an honest living playing in the lower leagues. And yeah, man, that's for me, that's the main thing, not to think that's where you got to get. Otherwise, it's that or nothing. There's a lot more. There's a lot more leagues, a lot more way to build yourself up to that level. Do you know what I mean? You can't just, if you don't get there straight away, that's the end of the game. You know what I mean? That's it. I gotta go and do something else. Nah, there's a lot of ways of getting there.
No, that's I kind of agreed with what Dr. Zafar said, and I've spoken to you many times, loads of times, and you said the exact same thing. You used to say to me, look, if you speak to the boys and the boys ask you questions or people that want to get pro, then say to them, I remember you quoting saying, if Adil can do it, you can do it as well.
Yeah. Me, I said this to anyone, man. I'm from Aston.
Yeah.
I'm from. I don't care. I don't need to hide where I'm from. I don't need to act prim and proper. The same way I talk to a chairman is the same way I talk to, you know, one of the boys on Witten Road or somewhere. You know what I mean? I don't care. It's me. I'm not fake. I'm not none of this. So if I can do it, I've played Aston Park. I played in the cages. I played rough games in Aston Park where sometimes you fight and all of that. You know what I mean? So. I've been there now. Alhamdulillah, I'm playing at you know, it's the way I earn money. It's my career path. So if I can do it, anyone can. Let's be honest. I mean, there's no you have to be this, you have to do this, you have to do that. If you know what I mean, follow your dream, you can go through it, no problem.
No, I agree with you. And I think that's why one of the reasons really, really keen to get you onto, because I think you need to, when you speak into audiences or the young people that we're working with now in inner city Birmingham or across the UK, you need to find relatable role models.
Yeah.
There's obviously professional footballers and they're amazing and whatnot, but you want to be accessible to the future generations of footballers that want to come through. So I think that's why are like really happy that the way you are, and you've always been this, and I'm testament to this, and I'm sure everyone that knows you would also be testament to that as well. What I wanted to ask you was what are the challenges that you kind of touched on it already? What challenges are you facing at the moment around the Greek football league and leagues across the world being shut down? What's your main challenges? Like obviously you're living away from home as well.
Yeah, I think living away from home, not being around your family, do you know what I mean? Your loved ones, your friends, my grandparents, all of that. You know what I mean? My mum and dad and all that. I think that's the most difficult part of it. Obviously then at the end of the day, it's my job, you know what I mean? I can't go and do my job the same way other people can't do their jobs. It's the same way for me, do you know what I mean? So it's more of a, when are things going to go back to normal? But in terms of I hear people being a bit anxious and stuff, but I just try and find things that I understand that, but I just try and find things that will take your mind away from, thinking about it too much, just trying to occupy your mind, which has kind of worked out perfect because now, probably near the end of it now, hopefully, inshallah, Ramadan's coming. So it's sort of totally, I don't even care about football. I don't care about nothing. I'm just solely focused on fasting and praying and stuff. So for me, football's at the back of my mind. So now I've got the chance to do Ramadan without no training, as in with the team, without no, train at 10:30, finish at 1, and then you're more or less KO'd for another for about 7-8 hours, and 9 hours, you're KO'd. So now I can just organize my day properly now and just, really focus on that more than the football. And just thinking about, asking yourself 1,000,001 questions, like what's going on? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? When am I going to go back? What? You know what I mean? So it's been nice for me as a relaxing, as a meditation sort of thing.
So you've obviously been involved in football from a very, very young age.
Right.
And I think, I don't know, you may know or you may not know, but there's this illusion or there's this question of what does a footballer go through when they're playing for a professional club? Like even me, I don't know. Like what is the life of Adil Nabi playing for Ofi Crete? How does it start? What time in the morning do you get up? What time's training? How does your day look?
Oh, like that? Oh,
yeah.
Training is, so we wake up for about 7:30, 8, go to training. You got to be there for 9, start training at 10:15. I'll probably leave the training ground for about maybe 2-3 o'clock. You train obviously with the team, sometimes double sessions, so you leave at 5-6 o'clock. And then you come back, and then it's your time to do what you gotta do, salah, family, business stuff, all the stuff that you gotta do away from football, and then be ready again for the same day again. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes for game days, you gotta go 2 days before the games to a hotel. So you go on a Thursday night, stay with the team, you train Friday, then you stay in the hotel the day before on a Saturday game. Again, the game, you stay over at night after, like that really. So it's like when my dad comes, when my mum comes, when my family come, I barely ever see them. You know what I mean? I never see them. I probably see them for probably about 6-7 hours each day, because I'll be either tired or I'm not even there. So everyone thinks his football life is sunshine and rainbows, but it's with any job it's difficult. You know what I mean? it's got its pros, it's got its cons. So, but yeah, man, that's really the whole week. Every day is like that. Not many days off here. It's a different culture to England.
What is it like in England? Like obviously you went through it in England as well.
England is more like you get a lot more days off and stuff. You get a few days off in a week. Here, you rarely get that. It's always at it. You know what I mean? It's a different culture. It's a different way of doing things, different ideas. So, yeah, man. So yeah, it's difficult. It's tough, but I enjoy it, man. I enjoy the challenge sometimes. It's good, man.
And it's good to see. It's obviously you just mentioned like your family come over, you get to really see them because of, and that's down to dedication.
Yeah.
I speak to a lot of young players that want to play professionally, etc. And I don't think they fully understand or know the amount of dedication and hard work it takes to first even get in, and then to continue that.
For me, I think it's like what they say. You can work all them years to try and get as a professional, or try and work to get a promotion, or to be a manager at a firm or something like this. But when you get there, you know what I mean? It's another ball game. You can't just say, yeah, I've done it.
Yeah.
Then the higher position, the higher work you got to do, the more work you got to do. Do you know what I mean? So, whereas you try when you're young, you're working towards this dream, professional player. But when you get there, do you know what I mean? It ain't no, I'm relaxed now, I'm done. You have to step it up. You go full time. You're in with the men. You know what I mean? It's another game. The dedication, the hard work, sacrifice is number one. Do you know what I mean? I never really I had much family time, had much time with friends. My thing was with my dad was just football. Do you know what I mean? And if you weren't like that, yeah, you got a good chance, but it was very difficult. Do you know what I mean? You have to give your absolute everything. And even now, it's the same. I don't even relax. People might think, yeah, my man's chilling in Greece. My man's, you know what I mean, relaxing in Greece. He's on the beach doing whatever. You know what I mean? It's okay. Yeah, I'm doing that, but it's totally different, man. It's a hard thing because now thousands, millions of people are watching me here. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, man, you got to be on the ball all the time.
100%. Now, grassroots football, for example, like when I was growing up playing grassroots football or with the boys, etc., it's classed as just Sunday league or non-league. Yeah. It is what it is, and that's kind of that mentality is still there. And I think what we've done differently with Saltley Stallions is try to be a bit more innovative in around, like this technology and all these various different things to showcase to people that, you can be more than just the Sunday league team or a grassroots team. How important do you think grassroots football is for the community of football, the world of football?
100%. It's massive. Okay, let's two examples, not two examples, but look at majority of footballers from England are from grassroots football. Everyone's played, Sunday league football. That's where people are made. You know what I mean? We're made there. People playing at Moor Lane and all that. You're made from them places. You know what I mean? Them are the places where you see some of the players now that are top players are all if there weren't no grassroots playing, you know what I mean, that Sunday league football and stuff like that, there's no football. That's the most important thing. And I think in terms of the stereotype of Sunday league, non-league, you just got to see now the amount of players that, okay, not necessarily become from academies and played academy football and then got pro contracts, have probably gone down another route and now are playing in the pro league, you know what I mean? Whereas some boys probably dropped out that were in the system, have probably dropped out, but these boys have gone that different route, you know what I mean? They've gone through the Sunday league, then the non-league, then the professional game. So there's a route. Do you know what I mean? There's no, if you start there, if you don't start in academies, you got no chance. Nah. You can start that route and still make it to the pro game, without a doubt. That's my thing.
You've gone through this whole system, the academies and everything, and you've had I would personally, and I'm sure you would agree, an amazing career. And inshallah, it continues to keep getting better.
Yeah.
This is a tough question, and it's the $1 million question. Everyone keeps asking, like every media outlet would constantly ask, why isn't there enough, South Asian or British Asian footballers playing, at a professional level? What's in your opinion? What do you think?
I don't know. That's the $1 million question. I probably get asked that a lot since I've started. And to be honest with you, I bet my dad was probably been asked that from when we first walked into West Brom at 7, 8 years old, saying, "Whoa, you know what I mean? What's my man doing here?" Do you know what I mean? So I think as the years go on now, I think that the mentality is changing. I think before probably not everybody's seen it as a solid job.
Yeah.
Forget the football, as a job, as a way of income. You know how it is, man. Everyone says go the educational route, get your degree, you'll do this, you'll probably end up working in a family shop, or you'll be a solicitor, a lawyer. Football wasn't deemed as a way of earning income and supporting a family. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think now there's a change, there's a shift in mentality with the South Asian community, which probably we'll start seeing a lot more in the next. I don't know, probably next 4, 5, 6 years. You never know how it would. I think there'll be a change in mentality.
You mentioned your dad. You said your dad walked you through the doors of West Brom at 6, 7 years old.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that? As in, like, I obviously know, been speaking to you, working in the football industry as well previously. I know, but people might not know this. How did your dad take Adil Nabi to West Brom? How does that work?
I don't know if you've met my dad.
I haven't.
My dad's a big character, so he, at them times, we had an idea, he had a goal. Maybe he exactly the same. He used to play Sunday League football with all his mates and in Aston Park, go around all of England playing festival leagues and all that. That's what he used to say to me. Yeah. From back a day.
Still running festival league.
There you go. So my dad used to be the main man. He always used to say to me, left foot striker. I used to be the main man. So maybe that thing for him was he didn't care. He wasn't going to take no for an answer. He didn't make it as a pro, but he was going to make his son be a pro. Do you know what I mean? So he must have. I went through a community program, a community scheme at West Brom. They do it now still. The community centre, and then that way I would just showed I had a bit of ability, and then I went to the academy that way. So it was my dad's backing, but I still had to show that, you know what I mean? If I'm good, I got to show that I'm good, you know what I mean? No one gives you a handout because maybe I was the only Asian there, or, you know what I mean? You still got to show your ability, but you got to have that backing. For me, I was, alhamdulillah, blessed that my dad backed me, not 50%, 90%, 99%, 100% he backed me. You know what I mean? So that's the way my route was the community way, and then get into the academy at 7, 8 years old.
You know, the Asian community, obviously when you made it and everyone was like, there was this sense of pride that someone from the local community, from Aston, I don't know whether you experienced that yourself, but there was a sense of a huge, massive pride of someone making it from the local ends. It's relatable. And there's obviously people start speaking and saying, oh, this and that. And one of the questions I've always wanted to ask you was, someone once said to me that your dad used to take you guys to the park and you guys used to have to do kick-ups and he wouldn't let you come back home until you finished the kick-up. What's the story about that?
Yeah. My dad was solid. That's the way it was. You could talk to anyone. All the lads around Aston, all the boys and that, whoever, Dad was tough. Even some of the lads around Aston used to join in our sessions and stuff, and used to go home thinking, forget this, I'm dipping from here, I'm going. This geezer's mad. But we were young lads doing kick-ups, and if we didn't do the amount, we ain't going home. Or if you want to go home, you walk home. So that things like that still live with me today. Do you know what I mean? It's the hard grounding and the hard work from things like that. You know what I mean? There's no making up stories. There's no gimmicks. There's none of that. It's what that is at Aston Park. We used to stay there probably 4, 5, 6 hours, kicking there on the by Aston Hall doing kick-ups.
And what's
If you
it
don't
like,
mean.
you know, like you're at West Brom from the age of 7, 8, 9, and what age did you first of all sign your pro contract? Is it 18 you sign it, or 16, or?
No, 17. You officially sign. Yeah.
What was that feeling like, signing contract?
Real good, man. It was, alhamdulillah, it was the best feeling. Do you know what I mean? You officially signed professional terms at a football club. But it was fun, where it was one of them things that as you're growing up, you start getting little accolades, and then you want more, and then you want more, and then you got to forget that you're a professional. You got to keep going. So you can't really enjoy the moment, if that makes sense, because it's just an ongoing thing. You have to continue. Do you know what I mean? Probably for my dad, my mom, my brothers was unbelievable, but for me it was okay, yeah, I got that. Okay, yeah, fantastic, but you got to continue now. Do you know what I mean? As that old cliche, the hard work don't stop. So great feeling, but you just got to carry on going, innit?
So like you whilst you're playing at West Brom, and throughout the career up until now, if you can, what would you say some challenges have been for you, like some genuine challenges within the football? Like, how do you know any, like what challenges come to mind that you faced that were really difficult for you, that you thought, you know what, shall I continue this or not?
To be fair, alhamdulillah, I've been a decent player growing up. You know what I mean? I've been like really good. Alhamdulillah, I've been blessed that I was one of the better players each year growing up. I've never had no racism. I think that was probably because my dad always used to be there every session. He's a big 6-foot geezer. No one wanted to say anything wrong because my dad was the man. So I've never had no racism. Even in the pro game, I've never had no racism. I'm well respected. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's with everything, man. You have challenges in the, you know what I mean, in your field.
Any major injury setbacks or anything that you've ever had?
Oh, injuries, yeah. I had a ACL injury.
Ooh.
I was out for 1 year. You know, maybe if I didn't get that, things would probably be way different. It was at a time where I was just probably going to break in as well at West Brom. It was 1 week before the season started, the Premier League season started, and I did my ACL. But alhamdulillah,
at the time, was it
Steve Clark?
Steve Clark, that was it.
Yeah. And then I came back when Alan Irvine was the manager. So that was probably the biggest thing, but it changed me as a person. I went to Umrah twice in that time when I had an injury through charities and charity work and stuff like that. So probably if I didn't get the injury, I probably wouldn't have done stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? So I took it as a blessing, alhamdulillah. But yeah, in terms of that, probably the injuries is the biggest, the massive setback. Especially at that time, it was a bitter pill to swallow. Do you know what I mean? So, but alhamdulillah, it's, you know what I mean, everything for a reason. You know what I mean? It's all written, alhamdulillah. So
like us growing up, we used to obviously play Football Manager and things like that, and then looking at West Brom, there's Adil Nabi there, and then you had, I don't know how, but they used to just kind of predict that you're going to be the star that breaks into the team.
Yeah.
This guy's going to make it this year, this guy's going to make it this year. And
yeah.
Obviously, everyone doesn't know that what happened around the injury and stuff. Because even me, I didn't know that the injury was the ACL, and that's the whole thing.
Yeah, man. But it's the thing where I was playing before that, or played after that. Do you know what I mean? It's not like I came back different. I came back firing. But at the time at West Brom, it was always changing managers, so I was a bit unlucky. Do you know what I mean? Every time I was getting good with a manager, another manager came, and then I was getting good with him. Obviously, I'm a young lad in it, so the English thing is where at that time it was like the older guys will play there. You know what I mean? If your experience is, maybe it's a bit different now, but experience was always number one. So every time I got close, and another manager got sacked, another one came in, start from scratch again. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, man, it could have been different, but it is what it is, isn't it?
Can I ask you this? Can I ask you this question then? I'm not sure whether you're allowed to answer it or not, but if you want to say no, no problem. Say hypothetically speaking, there was 20 Premier League clubs at hand now, and they said all 20 managers said to you, "We want you to come and play for our club." But put the money aside and all of that. Which manager would you want to play for or play under?
Now?
Yeah, right now, like your season's finished, etc. Or just
Yeah.
hypothetically speaking.
Okay.
Forget the status of the clubs or the money or the wages or any of that. Just like from a footballing perspective, based on your talents of what you have. Because obviously, there's some great managers, but sometimes the players
not your style.
Your style. Roberto Carlos was told to play up front for Inter Milan under Roy Hodgson. That doesn't make Roy Hodgson a bad coach, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think I'd go for. There's a few managers I like to play for. You got Ancelotti. You got. I don't know the way that obviously Man City, the Pep Guardiola likes to play football. My way is just play football. The Norwich manager plays a good way of style as well. He plays a lot of football.
Daniel Farke, yeah, he plays good style.
Yeah.
But Jurgen Klopp?
See now with Jurgen Klopp he don't really play ball that much. It's more counter attack. Do you know what I mean? It's back to front quick.
You just don't like Liverpool. That's what it is, I reckon.
No. He's just back to front. You know what I mean? He don't really play the way I like to play. But
I'm gonna ask that question to Momo Sissoko next week. See what he says.
Yeah. He's gonna say Liverpool direct. Yeah, man. Whoever plays good football is where you know what I mean. I would enjoy my football.
No, I get that. If you obviously, I mentioned to you, you're seen as a local role model to local people in the community. That's a fact. There's no denying that. People may say verbally to you, may not say verbally, but you're seen as a role model. What does 10 years future Adil Nabi say to current Adil Nabi right now in terms of shaping your next 10 years of your life? What do you do? I know it's a weird question, but like, what do you tell yourself?
Just keep improving. Don't try and do something that you're not. You know what I mean? Just be real to who you are. If people don't, just basically what I say to myself now, if people don't like the way you are, the way you act, or whatever, who cares? You know what I mean? Everyone to their own. Do you know what I mean? If that's your style, that's your style. Be real to anyone. Never be fake. Never don't be a yes man. Just be you, to be honest. Don't change you just trying to get somewhere or trying to please someone. Just for me, that's it. Just being real. Just being who you are, and work hard, regardless if you have setbacks, anything. Just work hard, man. Just so you can go to bed at night and say, yeah, man, I gave it all. If it didn't work out, it never worked out. But as long as I gave it my all, do you know what I mean? That's what I'll say to myself. Just keep going regardless. Never give up.
No, I agree with that, man. I think that's a really good mentality to have in regards to, just don't give up. With that, I think that's with anything in life. Don't give up on anything in life.
Yeah.
Like,
100%.
What I kind of wanted to kind of ask as well was around, obviously, you being a Muslim player, month of Ramadan, there's, we see what's happening across the world previously before COVID-19 and how much hate there is. Sometimes there's a lot of Islamophobia, etc. Do you think professional footballers are in a position that they could do more? They're doing enough to kind of counter the rhetoric of, the hate that, Muslim people are sometimes receive?
I think because football is such a massive game,
yeah,
I think it's vital, important that footballers. For me, it's not so much speaking up because anyone can speak up. Do you know what I mean? I think it's showing through like Mohamed Salah. Yeah, I think majority of his fans in the stadium are not Muslim, but yet they celebrate a goal. I see young lads doing young Muslim lads doing the sajda and all that. Do you know what I mean? They don't know, but they will know that that's a way of prayer. You know what I mean? That's the action of a prayer for a Muslim. I think it's more so because I can speak as a Muslim player. Yourself can speak. Another Muslim guy can speak. A politician can speak.
Yeah.
But for me, words are nothing, man. Because this topic's been going around for years and years. Do you know what I mean? I think football are the way of bridging the gap, because it's probably the world watches football, and to not eradicate, because I don't think it can, but it can ease the problem through football, 100%. And I think that's through performances. And when it's your time on TV, it's to portray a positive image. Maybe in the media, it's not portrayed in the right way, but when it's your opportunity, when you're under the lights, when it's your chance to speak up, or even, you know, show, I think you can only show it in a positive way. And I think football, the game is massive, 100%.
You're spot on, and I think that's not just a question to people who are not Muslim. I think there's a need for those kind of perceptions and those voices for the Muslim youth as well. I was at a United Nations conference in February, and it was about one of the topics was the amount of an increase in youth crime in inner city areas or rural or disadvantaged areas. And my view on this, it's not factual. I believe it to be fact because I've got some backing of it. But I believe that there's not enough role models. Like the young people, their role models are the I'm not going to mention names, but X celebrity and that celebrity, and they're so detached from that person that celebrity is not bringing food to their table or anything. And we're not saying bringing food to your table, but we need. I think the youth, in my opinion, need local role models, people that they can look up to, saying like
yeah. For me, I think now, because everything's on what you see.
Yeah.
That's why I think more so than I think, okay, for instance, having a gathering or having a conference somewhere or this. I think because when you're at home, you know what I mean? If you check on how many hours you're using your phone, sometimes you think, whoa, I've used my phone for what? 12 hours, 15 hours. How? Do you know what I mean? So in them 12, 15 hours is what you're seeing, is what you're taking in. Do you know what I mean? It's what's programming. So I think what people seeing from role models, from Muslim footballers, politicians, normal people, businessmen, whatever you have it. You know what I mean? Not celebrity status, just a normal guy. Do you know what I mean? Female, male. I think when it's their time to what they're gonna put out there, is the most important thing. I don't care about talking, because everything's, you know what I mean, digital now. And a video of something can sway a person's mind. It's the way it is. It's the way of the world now. Everything's on your phone. Do you know what I mean? It's the most important thing.
I mean, we've spoken about this personally many times, where I've kind of said to you, and I'm not trying to put you on the spot, like even when you finish your career or even now, I think you're someone that's so relatable that, and hopefully you can get a group of locally, not local, a group of professional footballers, ex and current, together to kind of create some sort of forum for good, for inner city peace or youth.
Yeah. See, this is what I've been thinking about, because I've been traveling and stuff. It's probably been which is bad. It's probably been at the back of the queue, but I've had so many chances and opportunities by other people to start a foundation, to do all this, but for me, it's not for somebody else to come in and throw something at me. Do you know what I mean? I'm gonna do it my way. I'm gonna get my brothers, my dad, you know what I mean, everyone that knows what it's like to be in the area. Do you know what I mean? And I will start my foundations, my soccer schools, with bringing pros in, ex-pros in, all of that into places like Aston, Handsworth, Neutrals, Newtown, all of this.
Saltley.
Everywhere, you know what I mean? That's the way. That's what I'm gonna do. That's something that I want to do. Is not through third party. you know what I mean? Where it's a big company or anything like that. So that's the way I will do it. But for now, I will do it in terms of, you know, if I do an interview for, I don't know, something like this,
Yeah.
with Sky, BBC, with anyone,
Yeah.
I will portray what I got to do. Do you know what I mean? Even when I'm on the football field, you know what I mean? I will give a positive image, not just to South Asians, but just the Muslims in general, because it's the most important. That's what we are. Can't change that.
Yeah.
Because someone's saying something different, can't change that. I'm a Muslim at the end of the day, and yeah, that's the best thing for me. I think it's showing and doing is the best thing.
Well, we can't wait. Inshallah, that's nearer, sooner rather than later. Like I've said to you on many occasions, more than happy to help, and we can talk about this offline.
Yeah.
One thing I'm really, really desperate to ask you about was that goal you scored, last minute goal. Can you, like, for people that don't know, what was the context behind that last minute goal that you scored? That's on your Instagram.
So basically, last season, the team was struggling, so we played a playoff game.
Yeah.
We finished third from bottom, so so it's the bottom two get relegated automatically, and then the third from bottom plays a playoff against the team who won the playoffs in the second league. So it's 2 legs, and we went their place 0-0.
Yeah.
And then it came to ours, and away goals and everything. So I went to 2-2 with like 1 minute left. So there was 6 minutes added on, or 5 minutes added on. And it was the 94th minute.
Yeah.
And it was a free kick. I didn't even know there was away goals. I thought 2-2 extra time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't know. This ain't Champions League. Champions League is away goals, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just thought, might as well, innit? Because I scored like that previously in the reserve team at West Brom from that angle in the free kick.
Yeah.
So I thought, I might as well, innit? There's only 1 minute left.
But you
What's
don't
the worst
from that angle, man. Everyone's expecting that to go into the box.
To cross, yeah.
Defender coming in. What, like, how do you even have the audacity to even think of it, let alone
like that? I've done it before. Do you know what I mean? I like to
do.
Yeah, just try and do some stuff that's a bit out of the box, you know what I mean? And then, yeah, man, alhamdulillah, thankfully, mashallah, it went in, do you know what I mean? Because if it didn't, we were relegated because they scored 2 away goals and it was 2-2. So we would have got relegated into the second league. And then, yeah, man, that feeling was... And I was fasting as well that day.
Oh.
So I broke my fast at, I think it was meant to be at the 73rd minute. So the rows are opened on the 73rd minute. So I ate then.
What did you do? You just go over to the side of the pitch and grab a chocolate bar or something?
Yeah, banana and a sip of water, and that was it. Just boom, get back a bite of a banana and straight back in, innit?
Mad.
Yeah. So yeah, man, it was just madness. It was, and then obviously I don't know if you've seen the reactions and all that. It was just chaos. It was chaos after that, man. So yeah, man, it was unbelievable feeling. But
you're a folk hero now. You must be a fan's favorite there now.
yeah, man. It's nice, man. It's nice.
How are the fans towards you? Obviously, I don't want to sound stereotypical, but someone who's Asian playing in the Greek league, they probably have never seen, an Asian player playing other than going on holiday to Greece.
Nothing. Absolutely. I'm like one of them. Do you know what I mean? They absolutely.
You have got that Greek look, to be fair.
Yeah. they love me, man. Even when my mum and that come, my dad, my mum, my brothers and that have come. Like, obviously my mum wears the traditional clothing and what have you, you know what I mean? And nobody looks at them in any way. They can go wherever they want. It's all open here, do you know what I mean? And everyone's respectful, man, and they love their football. It's the most important thing. To them, everyone's one. So yeah, alhamdulillah, I've had no issues whatsoever apart from just pure love and passion towards me, to be honest, and to my family.
What do you do like for food wise? Do you cook yourself? Is there halal places to eat and things like that? Do the clubs provide?
Yeah, there's halal places, one or two halal places to eat, but obviously now with it's a bit difficult to go out and stuff in it because I mean it's a bit hard for me. I'm just a normal lad, you know what I mean? I don't like to be obviously you have to do what you got to do with the fans and stuff, but for me, I'm just used to driving somewhere, picking up my food and going back home, you know what I mean? Not bloody so for me, I just rather cook at home. I can get halal chicken from the butchers and that here. Because there's a big Muslim community here, so which was surprising. But there's a big Arab community here, so
nice.
they've got all of that, so it's decent. So I just cook at home and stuff.
You know, you mentioned about breaking your fast with a banana and a sip of water and playing. It just reminded me of my team, Saltley Stallions. We had a final last year at West Brom, Sunday League final, and we lost it. And I said to Dr. Zaf as well, whatever lost it, I still believe we lost it. The other team were better, 100%, but we would have given a better effort had we not had 8 or 9 players who were fasting at the time. How does it feel? What do you go through when you're fasting and playing? 73 minutes. What is it? You just get on with it?
Yeah, just get on with it. To be honest with you, I forgot. Fair play to the fitness guy. He goes to me. 73rd minute, you said, come and take. Because obviously, when you're in the game, you don't remember any. So I was just solely focused on the game. To be honest, I didn't feel any way or anything like that. I think I found it more harder when it was pre-match meal. When it's in your face, when everybody's eating.
Yeah.
That's when it's a bit difficult. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like one of them ones when you're not fasting, you don't really see any food adverts or anything like that. But when you're fasting, you start seeing all of a sudden adverts of food and stuff. So when it's in your face and stuff, it's a bit hard. But when you're in the moment, especially when it's a game, you don't. For me personally, I don't. I didn't even know. It's one of them ones. If anything, I felt better. If anything, I felt actually better. No joke, I felt a lot better.
That's what Dr. Zaf said yesterday. He said some players, obviously there's a study that your performance decreases, but there's also a study that says about your mental, you have more mental strength.
You're alert, yeah. Which I can agree with that, man. It's maybe you think, whoa, you can't play a game, you can't even do exercise, you can't even have a sip of water or nothing like that, just in case you collapse or whatever. But no, man, you feel more awake, more alive, more like you can move faster and stuff. So for me, it's been good, man.
It's nice also because I remember last year before the Champions League final, Tottenham versus Liverpool, obviously all the Liverpool fans and some Tottenham fans were asking the questions is Mo Salah going to fast, is Sadio Mane going to fast, etc. Those who haven't studied Islam won't know or don't have better complete understanding that they wouldn't have needed to fast anyway because they were traveling. But even asking those questions is a kind of a bit of sense of pride because people want to know about Islam.
Exactly. And that's what I mean. Do you know what I mean? That's what we were saying previously.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Where football is giving people more of an understanding of our religion, of what we got to do and stuff. You know what I mean? Maybe they wouldn't have known beforehand. But in terms of that, I think it's between you and Allah.
Yeah.
It's not down for no one to judge you if you know what I mean? It's your intention. It's what you want to do. At the end of the day, you're going to get questioned for your own stuff, and I'm going to get questioned for my own. So for them guys, they were traveling. They didn't need to, but if they did, it's up to them. Do you know what I mean? But in that term, football is a great way to bridge the gap. Like I said before, man, it's perfect.
That's a name for your could be a name for your foundation, Bridging the Gap.
Yeah.
What about previously before Greece? How was Ramadan for you at West Brom, at Peterborough, at other clubs that you've been at, Dundee, for example? How was it seen as, and how accommodating, or was it accommodating?
Yeah. At West Brom, it was top because there was a lot more Muslim players. I think the club even done more research. Do you know what I mean, into fasting and how it affect your body and stuff. So because at the time there was a few players like Malumbu and Alka, myself, who else was there? There's a few other players in it. So they were good. At Peterborough, I just went in to speak with them to say this is what's happening. They were understanding as well. Dundee the same. It was just, you know what I mean? I weren't scared to tell them about I'm fasting or anything like that. I just went to tell them that this is how it is. This is what I'm going to do. And you get on with it. You know what I mean? So it was all good, no problem.
I thought you did really, really well at Dundee. Is this something that, like, you wanted to continue to play, or like, how was it at Dundee? Is it what was the difference between Premier League and the English League and the Scottish League?
To be honest with you, you know what? It's just how known it is. Simply, that's when everyone says to me, the more exposure in the Premier League than it is in the Scottish League. That's it. There's more money in that league, and there's not so much money in the Scottish Premier League. Do you know what I mean?
The fans are the same. The stadium's full week in, week.
Massive. Games are competitive. Stadiums are full. I really enjoyed it, but there's a change of manager. So for me, and I wanted a different change. I wanted to play in Europe. Do you know what I mean? See how it is to play in Europe. And you know what I mean? Go that route. So I really enjoyed it in Scotland. It was decent, man. Everything was really good, but I just wanted to change as well. It just worked hand in hand. I just changed and I just went through it.
I swear, I actually love that, because it's like, like the things that you're mentioning, West Brom, Peterborough, Dundee, Greece. I just, the young people I speak to now, they all want to, like, it's the Man United, the Liverpools, the Arsenals, this academy, that academy. There's nothing wrong. There's absolutely nothing wrong. It's playing, working your way through before you get to where you want to get to.
That's it. If you're lucky, you can play in the Premier League without going to do that. If you're lucky, you know what I mean? But there's no problem. More than anything, it's life skills. Because, you know what I mean? After football, you're going to have to carry on your life. Do you know what I mean? And for me, what I've learned to deal with different cultures, different surroundings, different people, living on my own. And it'll keep me in good stead for, after football finishes. Do you know what I mean? Life skills to hopefully, inshallah, give it down to the younger generation. And I think stepping out your comfort zone is the most important thing. Do you know what I mean? If it don't work at one place, go to another place. Try and see if it works out there. You never know. You probably have the best time of your life. Probably have the best period in your career. You never know. But you just got to get out your comfort zone. It's the most important thing. And we all want to play for Man United. We all want to play for the top teams in Premier League, win the Champions League, do all that. But
Man United ain't a top team anymore. Anyway, but I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
You're Liverpool, innit? You're Liverpool.
Adil, if you had your five-a-side team, who's your five-a-side team?
What players?
Yeah, like you got to go to Power League now. You get to choose 5 of the players for a five-a-side game. Who are you bringing in? World from the world.
Well,
Dr. Zaf said yesterday. Dr. Zaf said he'll have Modric, Coutinho, Suarez. He won't even have a goalkeeper. He goes.
Yeah. That's why he's a doctor. In goal, I'll probably go for someone like who's good with their feet, and the Man City goalkeeper, I say. Edison. Yeah. And then you just want ball players. Centre back now, ball player, Ramos.
Okay.
And then the rest of them, you just gotta be playmakers. What, from this era or
anytime? What's your five-a-side team that you could pull together?
What, Ronaldinho, Zidane?
Yeah, anyone you like.
Ronaldinho, Zidane, Robinho, and then the striker, who's a goal scorer. It's easy to say Messi, isn't it? But I'll go for Van Nistelrooy.
Okay, fair enough. And that nicely leads me on to the next question before we open it up to some of the audience to ask you some questions. Who is it, Messi or Ronaldo? And why?
Wait, if I'm a coach, like if I'm a manager?
Yeah.
Ronaldo. But In terms of me playing,
Yeah.
like as a teammate, Messi.
Why is that? Why is that?
I think for Ronaldo, he'll win your games. As a manager, it's like a dream. You know what I mean? If it's 0-0, you know he's gonna score, not just from with his feet, with his head. He'll bully someone. But as a player, because the way I play, that combination stuff, that 1-2 touch, taking on, dribbling, you know what I mean? That chemistry. It seems like you can have that with Messi because it's a nice way to play in it.
Do you know about Riquelme?
Yeah, obviously he's the bad boy player, man.
Because you know these youngers, they don't know about Riquelme, man.
Rui Costa, them boys, bad boy players, man.
Adil, thank you so much for coming on. I know it's really late for you. We won't keep you long. Just there's some people that do want to ask questions because the chat box is full. But we're gonna kind of restrict and limit it as much as we can. So guys, Saeed will come in to unmute your mics to ask the questions. Please keep it to one question so everyone else can get a chance as well. Is that okay with you, Adil?
No problem.
Saeed,
Yeah. First we've got Akbar. Akbar, I'm just gonna mute you. I can ask you a question.
Assalamu alaikum, guys. My question to Adil is, how did it feel when you left England, Aston, to play in a whole new country and a whole new league?
For me, it was like an adventure. For my parents, probably a bit different. They were a bit not so happy, I think. But for me, it was something new, something challenging. And for me, I like a challenge. But obviously, you have your own little worries like food, living, how I'm going to cope on my own. But you got to go and see to try it. So for me, I enjoyed it. And now my family are also happy about it. So if my younger brothers want to do it also, they know it's a positive way. So yeah, I just wanted to challenge. I was happy.
Saeed, do we have anyone else?
Yep. Next we've got Kasim. Kasim, I'm just gonna mute you now as well, and then you can fire your question away. Kasim, you there? Okay, I don't think Kasim's there. Let's move on to, we got Ali, also known as Levis. Levis, you can ask your question away. Go ahead.
Yes. Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
I'm so happy for the interview. I want to ask the cousin Obi ask you about the managers. You choose Pep Guardiola. So sometimes many people complain say Guardiola football is boring because too much tic-tac. So I don't know why you choose after the 20 managers in the UK. You just choose and Pep Guardiola. I know Obi wanted to you choose a club because it was, but I want to know why you choose Pep Guardiola.
For me, it wasn't my first choice, but because I like to play the beautiful way, and that's his way. You know what I mean? That's his way. Tiki-taka. Maybe yes, it's boring because playing too much is sometimes boring. You want to see goals and action, but for me, the passing, the skills, I get more enjoyment because I play street football. I get more enjoyment where he don't mind. He won't shout at you for doing too much skills, or maybe club will shout. He will say, "Hey, get it forward, score, get it wide, get it in the box, goal." But Guardiola is more the beautiful game, and for me, it's more better.
Cool. Thank you, Levis. Next, we've got Sean Boot. I'm just going to mute you now as well. You can fire your question away. Go ahead, Sean.
Is that done? Yes, well, what you're saying, you're good?
Yeah, all good, man, all good.
Yeah, my question for you, is basically, I'm a defender in it, so I want to know, what defender gave you your first big tackle and welcomed you to the game of football?
Bro.
Real question that is. That's a real question.
What I played for bagger teams, so I've had bare banging challenges where I think first one, I think it was when I was at West Brom. First time when I was like, I think I was like 15, 16 or even 17. I trained with the first team in training, and obviously when you're a young lad, you're kicking street ball, you want to do megs and that step overs, but old man ain't having that. And Olsen, Jonas Olsen, you know, the long centre back. He cleaned me out and said, like, welcome. Like, this is man's football. You don't play small man football. And obviously in training, you don't wear shin pads. So my man left a massive gash on
the full impact on the feet.
Yeah. So that was probably where I sort of like a little bit toned it down when I was around my man. But yeah, man, I'd say that one, man, that was mad.
Yeah, man. So respect for that, Will.
Safe, man. Respect.
Cool.
Thanks, Sean, for your question. We've got Huzaifa next. Huzaifa, I'm just going to mute you now as well. Go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Oh, I didn't know. A question. What would you say to an 18-year-old you? What would you have done different?
Not get injured. 18-year-old me.
Any of your moves or anything like that?
What was that?
You wouldn't change any of your moves that you made? In hindsight.
Nah. For me, nah. I wouldn't. It's
Well,
just
because
my
everything
past.
was experience and a learning curve, innit?
Yeah. For me, it was just experience. I could have stayed the easier route. Like when I went to India, I think I could have gone to the championship and played in the championship, but that was just a normal route for everybody. I just thought, you know what? It's a massive opportunity. Go and do something that nobody else has ever done. Do you know what I mean? So I won't say nothing. My journey is the way it went. Some people disagree, some people agree, some people think, why did he do that? But yeah, man, I won't say nothing. I say, yeah, man, go for it.
Adil, you know when you set up that foundation and stuff, and you need an accountant, he's the guy. Huzaifa is the guy.
Yeah.
Thanks, Huzaifa. Thanks.
That's a question. He's plugged you there. We've got Musa Jawara next. Musa, where are you? Musa, are you there?
Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah. Assalamu alaikum, lads. How's everyone doing?
Wa alaikum salam.
Well, you mentioned you have ACL.
Musa, your sound isn't that good. Are you using a headset or?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead now. It's a bit better now.
All right. So you mentioned you had an ACL injury for a whole year. So my question was, what was going through your mind and what kept you going and motivated? As we all know, 1 year in football is a very long time to be out on the sideline.
Yes. For me, it was like family.
Yeah.
I wasn't alone. I had good support from my family. Kept me going. The football club also at the time was very helpful. You know, they didn't just leave me to do my own thing. They were looking after me, checking up on me. You know, and as I said before, I went to Umrah also, which was alhamdulillah, is probably, you know, the best thing to do, which helped me out massively mentally, which was I think the most important, the biggest factor was this, just to clear my mind, instead of, you know, sitting at home, thinking about it, looking at my knee, thinking, will I ever play probably again, and all of this. So I think that was the most important thing. Having the good people around me, and, you know, obviously going to Saudi Arabia was massive.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just.
And I think we've got one more question from Hamza. Hamza, I'm going to mute now. and you can ask your question.
Assalamu alaikum, brother. How you doing? You all right?
Walaikum salam, alhamdulillah, good.
So I'm just going to ask you, in a few years or when your football professional career is over, I want to see you in a Stallion t-shirt. How about that?
What? I know this one has been put in there on purpose.
Adil, I promise you, Adil, I promise you, it's Ramadan. I haven't asked him that. This guy, he plays for Stallions, a proper diehard Stallions player, and he just wants good for the club. That's why he's asking the question.
Inshallah, I want to see you there, brother.
I'm there. I'll support and everything, man. I'm there. No problem.
Yeah. So,
I'm there.
inshallah, I want to see you in a Stallion t-shirt, man. Don't worry.
Inshallah, no problem.
Okay, thanks, Hamza. I think Kasim's joined us now. So, Kasim, I'm just going to mute you now and you can ask your question.
Sorry, last question, please, because obviously it's really late for Adil.
The last one.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Kasim.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Can
Kasim.
you hear me?
Yep.
Yep, we can hear you now.
Yeah. Assalamu alaikum, first of all. My question was just, so you said your dad supported you in terms of your career and going into pro football. So when you say, would you say it was your choice to go into football, or was it something that he pushed you on and then he constantly stayed by your side throughout the time?
Both. My dad gave me little footballs and balloons and stuff to kick from like 3-4 years old. So
yeah,
it's what my dad does with, like, just say when we have little newborn babies in the family and stuff. He says to them, like, obviously it's normal. Parents ask you, what did you do? What?
Yeah.
You just sort of implement it. I must have took a love into football from early, so where he just didn't really force it on me, but he backs me to this is what I want you to do.
Yeah.
If you like it, go for it. If you don't, then I'll go another route.
All right.
But I liked it, so he just carried on going full 100, full throttle, and I just went for it as well, man. Because you can't push a young boy into something that he doesn't want to do, or a young girl that they don't want to do. So if you like it, you like it, innit?
Adil, thank you, bro, for coming on. And again, it means a lot, because obviously it's really late. As always, you continue to do great things. Hopefully, inshallah, you continue to do many, many more great things in the future. We've got, after this interview, we've got an online workout session from a PT that comes and delivers. His name is Jermaine. So I know you probably don't want to stay on because you've got to sleep and whatnot, but thank you for coming on once again. Have you got any final words or anything you want to say?
Just to everyone, man, don't give up, man. Don't, even if they're fathers, dads, and that, mums, to their young kids that want to play football. There's a pathway. Do you know what I mean? There's many boys that can do it. Many girls that want to play football that can do it. I'm an example. I'm from Aston. I'm from Whittam Road. I'm from Bradley Road, Church Lane, all of that. If I can do it, you can do it 100%, without a doubt.
Thank you very much. You heard it there, guys. Adil Nabi in the house.
Salty Stallions, big up, big up, big up, big up.